Thanks again for visiting us here on Justice on Demand. My name is Christian Pedersen, attorney here at Justice on Demand. You may have seen my other video of the 5 things you absolutely should do after an auto accident. This video and presentation is the 5 things you must absolutely not do after you've been in an auto accident. Let's go ahead and get started. Number one, absolutely do not chase after the other driver if you've been involved in a hit and run accident. Um, Hit and run accidents actually happen quite frequently. You probably would be surprised of how many people hit someone else on the road and then try to flee the scene. If this happens to you, do not chase after that other driver under any circumstances. I have had clients who've actually been shot at on the road by people they attempted to chase after. I've seen fights break out, and I've also unfortunately seen other people when they're chasing after the person that committed the hit and run, then get involved in another accident where they were at fault. So absolutely do not under any circumstance chase after someone who's hit you if it's a hit and run type situation. It's just simply not worth your safety or health or safety or health of other people on the road. Number two, do not leave the scene of the accident until the police have had a chance to come out. Arizona law requires that if you've been in an accident, that you're required to exchange information with the other driver. This is your driver's license and your auto insurance information as well. I always recommend as well that you take photos and videos and document the scene as well as possible. It's always a good idea to make sure to wait until the police arrive, because the police arrive after you've left the scene, they're only going to hear the other driver's side of the story, and that other driver are probably going to try to put you at fault. So make sure that you wait until the police come so that the police can document what you say and what the other drivers say. Number three, don't admit fault to the other driver. Even if you feel like you've done something wrong, you don't need to apologize. You can still be polite and courteous and neighborly by asking them, "Are you okay? Do you need an ambulance? Do you need a doctor?" You know, you can offer to help them in those ways, but you don't need to admit that you were at fault. I have a lot of clients who will say that even if it was a rear end accident, they'll say, "Oh, I did stop kind of quickly" or something like that, and then boom, there you go. They have something to put in the records that you were somehow at fault or responsible for the accident. The other thing is, I wouldn't talk about what you were doing immediately before the accident. If you had mentioned, "Oh, I was listening to my favorite podcast" or something, even if you weren't fiddling with your phone or the radio, the other driver's insurance may try to imply that you were not paying attention to the road or that you were preoccupied with your electronic device. Um, and this, you may say, "Well, Christian, I was rear-ended. This is not my fault." Whenever you're rear-ended, then the other person is 100% at fault. That's not necessarily true. Arizona is what we call a comparative fault state, meaning that insurance companies or potential jury or something can assign fault to multiple parties. For example, they might, if you were involved in a rear-end accident and you slammed on your brakes too quickly or admitted to doing that too quickly, they may say, "Well, the other person's 80% at fault for following too closely, but you were 20% at fault because you stopped too quickly." So never admit fault to the other driver or to the police. Um, Number four, don't talk to the other driver's insurance. If you watch my previous video, I always recommend that you open a claim with your insurance, as they have a fiduciary duty to treat you fairly and honestly and ethically. Open a claim with your insurance. Don't talk to the other insurance's bodily injury adjuster. When you're involved in an accident, the insurance companies will usually assign two adjusters to your case, one to handle the damage to your vehicle and the other to handle your case in terms of your personal injury aspect. A lot of times they will ask for what's called a recorded statement, where they will ask you your version of what happened, and they will make an audio recording of that and then turn that into a transcript. Insurance companies love to try to twist your words on those recorded statements, even if you said something completely harmless. So don't even give them the chance. Also, when you talk to the other driver's insurance, they will probably try to make you a lowball offer. They may offer you a couple $1,000 for your medical bills when you may not even have seen a doctor yet. It may seem like a good deal to take a couple $1,000s, the first day you've been in an accident, but what if a week later you go to the emergency room and they say you have a broken back or a disc bulge or something like that? That few $1,000s is not going to be anywhere near enough to compensate you for a serious injury. And once they paid you out that initial amount, they don't have to pay you anymore. And then the last thing, this is kind of a double negative. Don't forget to talk to an attorney. Um, I personally handled thousands of auto accident cases in my career, and um, although a lot of times they are somewhat straightforward, there are ways that you can get in trouble really quick. You want to make sure that you have an attorney that's able to guide you through the process and make sure that you're doing what you need to do to, number one, get better for your health, and number two, make sure that you're preserving any rights you may have to make a claim for your personal injury. If you have been involved in an auto accident and would like a free consult, our office offers free consults with actual attorneys to all prospective clients. We work 100% on contingency, which means we don't get paid until you get paid. There's never any fees or out-of-pocket expense to you until the very end. So give us a shout out.